Hello students. So students, in the previous class, we were talking in the chapter about the modes of reproduction. Reproduction, student, is what? It is a life process which help in giving birth to their young ones, that is the reproduction. And this reproduction, it varies from organism to organism. It means different organism, they show the different modes of reproduction. You know that students, some of the organisms are there which give birth to their young ones, which are some of them are there which they used to lay eggs. Some of them are there which used to involve a single parent. It means from that parent only, from its body part, the organism used to come out and grow and develop. Like in case of a hydra, in case of a amoeba. So on that basis, student, we have divided the mode of reproduction into two, and that is sexual and asexual. Asexual reproduction is that reproduction which do not involve any sexes in it. It means which involve only one parent in it. That is the asexual reproduction. So we can say that asexual reproduction which which involve only one parent. And we had discussed that the asexual reproduction, student, there are different methods, and we already had discussed the two method, and which includes the binary fission and budding. When we talk about the binary fission, students, so you know that in the case of a binary fission, a parent cell get divided into two daughter cells. And that is why the name is given as a binary and fission, in which a cell get break down into two, that is the binary and fission. When we talk about the budding, in case of a budding, a parent cell is there which shows a small outgrowth. That outgrowth is actually a bud, and this bud, it used to grow and develop till that it remain attached to that of the body, and finally when it is able to show the independent existence, then they used to get detached from the body and finally grow and develop by its own. Basically, you see, students, in case of a binary fission, it is shown by that of a amoeba. And budding, we had discussed budding in the last class, and it is shown by hydra. Paramecium is also there, student. Euglena is also there, which is responsible for showing the binary fission. So you see, students, these are the two modes of reproduction, and in both the cases, one parent involves and it gives rise to the whole new individual. Okay, so we can say that a parent cell is responsible for giving the birth without involving the other sex cell, without involving the female sex cell or the female or the male. Such kind of a reproduction, such mode of reproduction is known as a asexual reproduction. Now, if we move on and we will try to understand the next mode of reproduction, and that next mode of reproduction is the sexual reproduction, students. What is the sexual reproduction? So, sexual reproduction is a reproduction. It is that mode of a reproduction which involves both of the sexes in it, or both of the male and that of the female sex in it. And that is, such kind of a reproduction is known as a sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. Okay, involving both of the cells in it, that is the male and the female sex cell, that is sexual reproduction. Okay. Okay, so sexual reproduction involves the two parents, involves the two sex cells, and thus there is a formation of a zygote, student. That also we had discussed about it. That formation of a zygote occurred due to the fusion of the male sex cell and that of the female sex cell. And this zygote is capable of grow into a new individual. So this is what you can say, this is the sexual reproduction. Now, if we talk about the sexual reproduction, basically this reproduction, it involves the three steps. That is, the first one is the production of gametes. Production of gametes. Second, student, that is fertilization. So we will say the second one is fertilization. And the last one is the development of embryo. Okay, so production of gamete, fertilization. So the three basic steps which is present or which is involved in that of the sexual reproduction, student. That is, the first one is the production of gametes, second one is the fertilization, and then the development of the embryo. Okay, so these all things, these are the steps for the reproduction. So we will start with the first one. We will try to understand that what is the production of gametes. Then we will understand the fertilization and the development of the embryo. Okay. When we talk about the production of the gametes, production, it means producing. Gametes, it means sex cells. So, when a boy or a girl reaches to an age of puberty or gains the puberty, they start producing, they start releasing the sex cells, which is also known as a gametes. It means if a boy is there and boy reaches to the puberty or gains his puberty, his body starts releasing the sex cells or start producing the gametes, and that gamete is known as a male gamete, or the sex cell is known as a male sex cell. If we talk about a girl, student, so when the girl reaches to the puberty or when she gains the puberty, she also capable, her body is also capable of releasing the sex cells, the female sex cells, or she is capable of producing the gametes, and that gamete which is produced by the female is known as a female gamete. Okay, so we can write it. When an organism, when an individual reaches to an age, that age we called it as a puberty, students. I'll tell you the meaning of puberty. Till that you simply understand the term puberty. So when an individual reaches to an age of puberty, starts producing gametes. Okay, or sex cells. Okay, so start producing gametes or that of the sex cells. Okay, so female, if we talk about a girl, so female start producing the female sex cell. Or we called as a female gamete. And if we talk in case of a male, students, so here in case of a male, it starts producing the male sex cell or that of the, okay, so male, it starts producing the male sex cells. Okay, we also called it as a male gametes. Okay, so female, they start producing female sex cells and male start producing the male sex cells. This is also known as a female gamete, and here it is known as a male gamete, student. Now, what is the male gamete, student? What is the female gamete? Male gamete, we call it as a ovum or egg. So we can say, female gamete is called as a ovum. Okay, so female gamete or female sex cells, that sex cells is called as the ovum, which is also called as an egg, and the male sex cells is sperms, or the male gamete is sperm. So male, they start producing the sperms, and the female, when it reaches to the puberty age, when it gains the puberty, it starts releasing the female sex cell, that is called as a ovum. So let me write it. That is, the female gamete is called an ovum, and the male gamete is called a sperm. Okay, so sperm is there and ovum is there, student. Ovum is also called as an egg, and this is, we call it, is released by women, is released by female when it reaches to its puberty, and the female, when the gamete is called as a sperm. So this is how the production of the gamete is there, in which it involves the ovum and egg. Now you see, student, to carry the process of a reproduction, sorry, or the process of a reproduction can occur smoothly only when there will be fusion of that of the male sex cell and that of the female sex cell. So we can say that the male and the female gametes should come together so that the process of a reproduction can take place. Especially when we talk about the process of a sexual reproduction can take place. Okay. So we can write it, that is, the male and the female gamete need to come together. The female and the male gamete needs to come together. It needs to come together to complete the process of reproduction. Okay, so the process can take place only when both of the gametes, both of the sex cells will come together. Now, different organisms, they are having the different mechanism. There is a different process to carry the process of a reproduction, students. In case of a human, the sperm should come, it is entered in, it is you can say it is made to enter into the body of the female, so that the fusion can occur between the sperm and that of the egg. Okay, now you see, student, how is it possible? See, sperm is what? It is motile, and egg is what? It is non-motile. So a sperm have to travel so that it will reaches to egg or the ova, and the fusion can take place. Now the chances of the fusion is less between that of the sperm and the ova. So the number of the sperm number, it is more as compared to that of the egg. It means more number of a sperm is released in the body of the female, so that the reproduction, or so that fusion of the male sex cell and that of the female sex cell can occur. Okay, so we can say that in the bisexual organism, bisexual, student, which involve both the organisms. Okay. In the bisexual organism, the sperms are motile. What is the meaning of a motile, students? Sperms are motile. Meaning of motile, it means it can move. Okay, it can move from one place to another. That is known as a motile. Okay, so when you see the structure of the sperm, you will find that it is having a head as well as tail. So the tail is helpful for it to move from one place to another. Okay, so it can swim, you can say. Okay, so that is why we can say that sperm is what? It is motile, and the ova or that of the egg, that is female gamete, ovum is non-motile. So one is motile, one can move easily, and another one is non-motile. So due to this reason, the sperm should be made to enter into the female's body, or we can say that it should be introduced. It need to be introduced into the female body so that the fusion can take place. So we can say that the sperms need to be introduced into the female's body. Female body. Now the chances of the fusion is also less because one is motile, one is non-motile, student. So the number of the sperm released is more compared to that of the female gamete, that is ovum. Okay, so we can say that the number of the ovum since the chances of fusion is less, so the number of sperm is more than the ovum. Okay, so for this reason, students, the number of the sperm. So this is all about the production of the gametes. Okay, so what happened in the gamete? Again, I am telling you, gamete is what? Basically, gamete we call it as a sex cells. Okay, these gametes are produced when the male or the female reaches to its puberty. Okay, puberty means when a person is biologically, you can say it is physically mature. Okay, now the male or the female is ready to release the sex cells, and the sex cells starts developing. At that moment, we will say that it reaches to the puberty. Okay, so when a female it reaches to the puberty, it starts producing the female gamete or female sex cells, and that is also called as a ovum. Okay, or egg. Another name is there, that is egg. Okay, ovum, it means single egg. When we talk about ova, in some of the books you will see that it is written as a ova. So plural of ovum is ova. Okay, what happened in the male students? So male also, when the male reaches to the puberty, it starts releasing the male sex cells or that of the male gamete, which is also called as a sperms. Now you see, students, that especially if you see the sperm structure, then you find that the sperm structures involves the head portion and the tail portion. This tail portion, it tells that it is motile. It means it can move, it can swim. But if you see that of the egg, so egg is what? It is a non-motile. So sperm should be released in the female body, and since the number of the sperms is more, because the fusion, it is not possible for the fusion to occur very easily. So for the fusion to take place easily, the number of the sperm is more than that of the ovum. This is the production of the gametes. Now you see, student, now we will move to the next one, students, and before we go further and try to understand the term that is fertilization, let me tell you one thing, one more topic, and that is hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite, students. Hermaphrodites. What are hermaphrodites, students? So hermaphrodites are basically, these are those organisms in which the male sex cell and the female sex cells both are present in the same individual. Such kind of organisms are known as a hermaphrodite. The name herma, it means both. Okay, so we can say that the hermaphrodites are the organism which is having both of the reproductive organ in its body. Okay, the male reproductive organ and that of the female reproductive organ. So we can say that the organisms having both male and the female reproductive organ is called as hermaphrodite. Okay, having both male and the female is called hermaphrodite. It means both male and the female are present in the same organism or same individual. Okay, so both of the reproductive organ, if it is present in the same individual, such kind of an individual, we call it as a hermaphrodite. Now, who are the hermaphrodite students? So you see, earthworm is there, leeches are there, students. Then sea anemone is there. So these are what? These are the examples of a hermaphrodite. Now you see, students, since it is consisting of the male and that of the female reproductive organ in the same body, so it acts as both mother as well as a father. What we called it, when female is there, so she is having her own reproductive organ, we call it as a mother. And if it is a male, so having the male reproductive organ, we call it as a father. So since the same individual is having both of the reproductive organ in its body, male reproductive as well as the female, so we can say that it acts as both male, mother and father. Having both of the reproductive system made it as a mother and father. Okay, so this is all about the hermaphrodite, students. So whenever the question is asked that what do you understand by the hermaphrodite, don't get confused, give the answer, that is the individual having both of the reproductive organ in it and acts as both mother as well as a father. That kind of organisms are the hermaphrodite, and examples are the earthworm, leeches, sea anemone. All these are the examples of the hermaphrodites. Now student, we will move to the next topic. And the next topic is next topic is, students, that is fertilization, that we call as the second step. First step we had completed, that is the production of the gametes, that is the male and the female. Now the gametes are produced, students. So what is the use of these gametes? The male sex cells and that of the female sex cells. So you will say it is for the fusion. Okay. So the formation of the zygote can only occur if the fusion occur. It means this male sex cell and the female sex cells, they fuses together. When they fuse together, then there is a formation of a zygote. Now this zygote will capable of a grow. It will grow and become embryo, and finally it will grow into a new individual. So for the growth of the new individual or for the formation of the new individual, the most important process is there, that is the fertilization. So we can define the fertilization. It is a process during which the male sex cell and the female sex cell comes together and fuses to form zygote. Okay, to form a new single cell called zygote. So you see here students, you have seen there are one cell that is the male cell, another cell that is the female sex cells, and both of the cell they combine together, they fuses together to form a new cell. That new cell is the zygote. Okay, so formation of the zygote occur the formation of the zygote, it tells about the fertilization. So whenever the definition of the fertilization came, you will write that it is the process in which the fusion of the male sex cell and that of the female sex cell occur so as to produce a new single cell that is called as a zygote. Now this fertilization can be occur in two ways, students. That is internal fertilization and external fertilization. By the name itself, you are able to understand that what is the internal and what is the external. So let me write it. That what are the different ways by which the fertilization can occur. So yes, even though the production of the gametes are there, students, we can say that there is the ways of a fertilization also. It means the modes of a fertilization also varies with the organism. Although there are only two more, students, the first one is the internal fertilization and the second one is the external fertilization. Internal and external fertilization. So let me give you a brief note regarding that, then I'll explain each and everything individually. So you see, students, if we talk about the internal fertilization, so by the name, student, you are able to understand. You see, the first name which is given here is internal. Okay. So internal, it means inside the body. Okay. When we talk about internal, that is the inside the body. Inside the body. And here when we talk about the external, so meaning of external is outside the body. So one is internal, inside the body, another one occurs outside the body, and in both of the cases fertilization occurs, student. It means the case of an internal fertilization, the fertilization which occur inside that of the female body is known as a internal fertilization. And the fertilization which occur outside to that of the female body, that is known as a external fertilization. Okay, so internal fertilization occur inside the body, external fertilization occur outside the body. So let me explain from the first student that what happen in case of a internal fertilization, and then we will try to understand the external one. So internal, let me write the definition. So the fertilization which occurs inside the female body known as internal fertilization. So basically what happened here, student, here it occur inside the body. It means we have to, we can say that the sperm should enter into the female body, only then the fertilization can take place. Okay, because this fertilization occur inside the body. So the sperm should enter into the female body where the ovum is there, and that sperm will enters into the body, reaches to that of the ovum and fuses the ovum, and then there will be the formation of a zygote, and we will say the fertilization occur. So internal fertilization only occur when the sperms introduce into the female body, and there the process of a fusion take place, and due to the fusion there is a formation of a zygote occurs. Okay.